Well, we're excited about being back at home after being on the road a couple of weeks, but you know, obviously wasn't totally pleased with the way we performed at Georgia, but give a lot of credit to them, and they have a fine football team and found a way to pick us apart in the second half, and our kids continue to play with great effort, and we are. You know, we've got to get some kids back healthy, and hopefully they'll be ready to go Saturday night against a very good Vanderbilt team with so much on the line for both of us in these last few games. And hopefully we can find a way to play our best football of the year.
First up, we have David Pascal, Chattanooga Times Free Press.
Hey, Coach, when you go back to last week's game, I think y'all had when y'all led 10-0, I think y'all had 173 total yards at that point, after 19 minutes, but only had 61 the rest of the way. I mean, you knew that defense was good. I mean, it's obviously peaking now. What was Georgia's defense able to do against you guys from kind of the midway point of the second quarter on?
Well, they were able to take us out of our run game totally, and then became very difficult to be balanced and against rushers like they have and Jones and the other guys that they have. It's that's a bad predicament to be in, and you know, they were able to, their inside guys really dominated the game against us, and you know, we struggled to run the ball from that point forward. And I think the way the first half ended, we lost a little of our confidence, and was not able to regain that same confidence we had in those first three drives. I thought we were excellent, and you know, I have to look at, of course, our plan and the way we executed it. Was the plan solid against what they were doing? And we've evaluated all of that, and certainly we could have done some better things as coaches. And I don't think we played our best game up front. And hopefully we can put that one behind us and get ready for this one.
You've obviously been in the league or familiar with the league for a while now. What Georgia's defensive talent? I mean, they've got a lot of guys that are on draft boards and everything. How would you assess their talent on that defensive side of the ball, especially since you've faced other teams recently like Alabama and some others too?
I think that they will have more kids drafted off that defense than any we faced. And I think their size and speed is pretty special.
Thank you.
Next is Edward Ashoff of ESPN.com.
Now that you're here in November and obviously seeing the second half of that Georgia game, are you starting to see the effects of not having as much depth on both sides?
Yeah, I am. You know, we went to Georgia with 61 scholarship players Saturday, and had some get banged up in that game and couldn't finish. And we're very, very thin, and playing some kids out of position a little bit on the defensive side especially. And I do think, you know, a season like this with the lack of depth that we have does take its toll on you. It is what it is, and certainly we're not going to use that as an excuse going into these last few games. We've got to get prepared with who can play and give us the best chance to win, but no doubt that the effects are there.
And do you bring up bowl eligibility, any talk like that with your players?
No, I really don't. I don't really. I just talk about trying to get our sixth win, and whatever comes with that. Certainly, we'll if we can do that, we'll be more than happy to go somewhere.
Next is Mike Herndon of AL.com.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, just asked the question I wanted to ask, but I also wanted to ask you about Jordan Matthews and Vanderbilt's passing game. Obviously, he's one of the better receivers in the conference, and you've got some injuries back on the back line. How do you deal with him this week?
Well, you better know where he is. He's a difficult matchup for everyone, and has had his share of explosive plays this year for sure. And you know, I think it's a combination of why he's not only a talented kid, but the things they do with Stacy and the ability of Rodgers to throw the football effectively. I think they go hand in hand, because you're so concerned with stopping their run that he's going to get a lot of matchups, and you know, they do a really nice job of moving him around to try to get the right matchup to where he can win some one-on-ones. And so that is a challenge for us this week that we've got to try to have a plan for.
If there are any final questions for Coach Freeze, please press *1 now. We have a follow-up from Edward Ashoff.
All right.
Yeah, Coach, James Franklin talked about how you gave him a call earlier just to kind of see how things were and see if they needed anything on the way down. Any reason for that, or was it? I mean, have you done that before?
Yeah, I actually have. I think it's possible to be very competitive and still be courteous. And you know, if I have a relationship with visiting coaches that are coming to our place, that's not uncommon for me to do that. I've done it this year with Clint Conk and Mac Brown and Gene Chiswick. I didn't talk to him on the phone. I texted with him, but you know, it's just you know, James was very kind earlier in the year to call me when we had an incident with Bo Wallace's sister, and you know, I mean, we're going to want to beat them extremely bad Saturday night, and he'll feel the same. But I still think it's possible to do it with and still be very courteous to each other. So that's all. I just wanted to make sure he knew. Thought they were doing a great job, and if he needed anything on his trip, feel free to call us.